Hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. Thank you so much, as always, for joining me. I appreciate you big time. I know I say that every time, but I truly mean it every single time. So thank you for your time and your ears. And my hope is that the message today will really help you sit in the moment and in the moments after. And what I'm talking about is, depending on when you're listening to this, it may very well be the solar eclipse, April 8th, 2024. You may be sitting in the moment right now with the eclipse energy listening to this, or it may be a couple days or even a couple weeks after. Whenever this message finds you, you will feel resonance in it where you're supposed to. However, this is very specific also to today and this week. Now, this morning, Spirit was saying, it's really important for you to bring through this message so that people have understandings, help, or guidance in the aftermath. And they used aftermath specifically, not in the way that we understand it on our planet right now as like fully chaotic, but I mean, it can have that implication, obviously, but it's more just like the after of something. When we're waiting for something, then something occurs, and then the after. So that's how they're referencing it. Because what they said is that this eclipse season, so from the lunar eclipse that we had on March 25th to April 8th with the solar eclipse, was massive, massive transformation, especially massive personal transformation of your narratives, of your understanding of self, of different alignments around you. Because again, remember, eclipse seasons are when the universe really gets to act in your favor. And I had somebody ask a question. They were like, you mentioned the eclipse season, the universe acts in your favor, but doesn't the universe always? And yes, it does. Absolutely. The universe does always act in your favor on your behalf, but eclipses amplify it. So eclipses are really times where we can surrender and really sit back and observe what's happening, to practice active waiting, because the universe will often bring in bigger shifts, bigger transformations, bigger clarities. It's a massive amplification. So I hope that makes sense. So coming back to this message, Spirit said the transformation was really big for a lot of people. And so if you're listening to this on the day of the solar eclipse, there is a theme of surrender. Surrender to the day, surrender to the experience. And if you're listening to this after April 8th, but you're reflecting on what occurred for you that day, it's like surrender into the energy of what occurred for you. Try not to figure it all out right away. If it's not completely concise and clear, there's clarity coming within your experience. Sometimes we need to give it a little bit of time. So there's a surrender and an observation, because Spirit is saying an important thing is to recognize that truth transcends illusion. And so when they brought this up, I was like, that sounds a little cryptic. And they're like, people will hear it in the way they need to hear it. So with the idea of truth transcends illusion, the eclipse energy, especially the solar eclipse being an energy with the sun, it is the opportunity to see through different illusions within your life. Again, maybe it's personal narratives, maybe it's outside of you in your external sphere, but really having the opportunity to see the truth for something. And in that experience, sometimes we really need the time to recalibrate after. We need to digest the truths that we saw, that we experienced, that we understood, that we downloaded. Because Spirit is like, remember, in all of this, we have your back. And I want to say too, even sometimes when a truth is a really positive one, it can still be somewhat overwhelming. And it's almost that energy of overwhelm sometimes that can really just kind of get us hung up. And if we give ourselves the time to digest it, we can do so much more with it. And so the second thing Spirit is saying is be at home. Now, this doesn't mean that if you are someone who's wanting to go see the solar eclipse and you go somewhere that is not your home to go see it, that's not what they're saying. But they're saying, like, be at home within yourself. Find solace and safety and comfort and grounded energy within self. Be at home in self. And there's a reason for that, is first of all, of course, it's very grounding, but you're also solidifying a template of your energy. And that's one of the other transformations that's happening right now. And this, I talked about this in the April energy update of people really rooting into their energetic frequency, whether that is 3D, 5D, whatever D they're in, they're really rooting into that. And you're doing that now. You are settling into your home templated frequency. So be at home within yourself. Try and find that energy and sit in that energy and honor and embrace that energy, especially today and the days that follow, because you're setting the mold for your new energy template. And that's a really powerful thing. Now, Spirit also said that in that energy, one thing to recognize is with the results of the eclipse season, the eclipse gateway, they've been showing me the rabbit symbol for a while, for at least the last 3-4 days, over and over and over, like everywhere. I'm seeing it in vision, I'm seeing it in my actual world, on cards and TV, and yes, it was Easter, that's fair, but it's more so the vision state that kept coming over and over. And Spirit's like, what do rabbits represent? I'm like, abundance and luck and goodness. And they said, yes, this is what we are stepping into. The results of this eclipse gateway bring luck and abundance. It's a lucky time to manifest now because the speed at which we're moving is very, very fast. We are moving through change, transformation, upgrade, clarity, all of that very quickly. So part of why we need time to kind of digest it, right? Because it's moving fast, but also time to kind of move with the flow of it because it's a very lucky, abundant time. Now, I also want to highlight that the eclipse April 8th, 8 is an abundance number, right? If you look at the number 8, it looks like the infinity symbol. So again, it's this abundance of your manifestations, of what you're bringing into your reality. So that it is a very lucky time. So that's why there's a value in the surrender. There's a value at being at home within yourself, grounding into your energy. And Spirit is saying another thing that will really help you too is breath. And they said specifically breath of life. And so I asked them to explain that a little bit more. And they said, just like in ancient Egypt, the Ankh, which if you're watching this on video, you can see just in the background on this golden disc I have in my room, there's a little Ankh symbol, which is kind of looks like a spoon with a line underneath it. It represents the breath of life, the essence of all things, the ether energy. And coming home to our own breath is completely and utterly recalibrating. So as you're surrendering, as you're coming home to self, as you're recognizing the clarities and the understandings, when you return to your breath, taking even a single deep breath consciously, breathing in for 3 seconds, letting it out for 4 seconds, or whatever your rhythm pattern is, has the ability to shift your energy. In my courses, I teach all the time, take that one big sacred breath to shift your energy from being conscious and awake in the outside world to tuning inward into the inside world. It lets your body know there's a change in frequency, and that's a beautiful thing. So coming back to breath within the energy right now is so, so valuable. The other thing Spirit said is bring in the energy of joy. Allow yourself to feel a celebratory energy for the things that you have uncovered, shifted, revealed, made space for, because you need to celebrate your growth. And they said it's even worthwhile celebrating the tough spots. Celebrate the times where you learn to do something better. And it's interesting, I had a conversation with my daughter just the other day about this because she did something that she felt bad about. And she's like, I should have known better. And I said to her, I'm like, we've all known better, but it's not about beating yourself up. It's about taking that situation and being like, I didn't like that. Or that's not what I want to replicate. So what did I learn from that so that I can do better next time? Because it's experiences that give us the wisdom pieces when we choose to look at them. And so that's something that's really powerful right now is like stepping into the ownership of who you are, right? Being at home with self, but stepping into that ownership and claiming your sovereign wisdom as you move forward. And as you do that, celebrate the wisdom. Even from the tough lessons. We celebrate the good ones, right? But what about really celebrating when we have those aha moments from the challenges in our lives where we're like, what was I thinking? How could I be so silly? How could I make such a ridiculous choice? How did I think that was okay? How could I have spent all of that on, whatever your how is, whatever your guilt or shame or regret or judgment of self is, instead celebrate what you learned now. How do you know better? Because I can guarantee you, if you reflect on it and you come to a compassionate stance with it, you won't make that mistake again. Because it'll be rooted in the psyche of who you are now, which adds to your soul wisdom and helps you move forward. So it's a very, very, very powerful thing. So Spirit is saying, celebrate it. Celebrate you. You can even celebrate with your family, bringing your family together, sit in a beautiful little sacred circle and share what you learned over this Eclipse Gateway. Share who you were in the beginning, who you are now, what lessons you gained, what things you tripped up on. Celebrate exactly who you are, vulnerabilities, strengths, faults, and beauty in everything that you are, because it's about bringing it all forward with you as a new, improved, better version of you. And really, you want that new and improved, better version of you with clarity as you move forward, because we're moving into fast-paced things. And so that's another thing Spirit said is, after resting, recalibrating, with the speed at which everything is moving, you're also now going to have to be in the mode of thinking on your feet. And this is a really neat thing, and it's not about thinking on your feet through chaos and conflict, but it's because of the speed at which we're moving through growth and manifestations. You need to be able to think on your feet now. And if we don't take time to recalibrate, to digest everything that's gone on, know who we are now, stand in that sovereign truth, sit in that energy, it's harder to think on our feet with that accuracy of discernment, with that knowing of who we are in our undercurrent. So it's like spend time in that undercurrent so that you can think quickly on your feet to help manifest the things you're wanting to manifest. This has all been about helping us grow and step into the next version of ourselves. And we really are embracing that now. And so then that brings me to my last point, which, well, it's kind of 2 points in one, but Spirit said, when we look at it through a lens of love, transformation is beautiful. Your transformation, regardless of how wild, how, whatever word you could put in there, wild, crazy, extreme, whatever it is beautiful. Your transformation is beautiful because if you reflect on it and look at who you are now, you are strong, you are whole, you are complete, you are sovereign. So transformation is beautiful, and in that, when we reflect on that, we can really start to trust in the magic of the way in which the universe brings through divine journeys for us. And I'm tripping up on my words here, which usually happens when Spirit's present. So I'm actually just going to pause for a second, tune in, because I think they're here and they want to share something. So just hold on one moment. Okay. This comes from my council. This is specifically one of my guides on my council. And she's like, yes, I do want to speak. And I do just want to say that for many of you, the times of trial and tribulation are over. And this is part of why thinking on your feet now will become a strength rather than a way to try and make it through a situation or survive a situation. They're like, for many of you, you have done so much work that anything that comes forward as a trial or tribulation will now be a series of choices. And you'll notice the difference in your energy. You'll notice a difference in the experience of it too. And it's the idea that things will continue to happen in our lives because we're not here on earth to live a perfectly seamless life. There are things, there's ups and downs, as we know. But your experience in those ups and downs will feel different. It's going to feel more like you can handle all the situations. Even if something feels kind of big or out of your comfort zone, you have the tools to handle it. You have the wisdom to know how to work around it. You have the insights of when you need to reach out for help. Like, they become more doable versus in the past, maybe they felt completely overwhelming. You have a different set frequency now is what they're getting at. So that's really quite beautiful. All right, so I hope this post-eclipse message from Spirit is really helpful for you, and I hope you really breathe into the energy of who you are. Again, using that breath to come home to you is so incredibly powerful. And I just want to leave you with the echo, if you will, that now is a lucky time. Now is a lucky time for you to really be in this next version of who you are and see what it's like and experience it and work within the energies of abundance. So I hope that helps. And I wish you all a beautiful, beautiful rest of your day, rest of your week, whenever this message may find you. And please do share and subscribe. As always, that's really helpful if you feel anyone would benefit from this message. And for anything else, you can check out avalonspirit.com. Have a good day, everyone. See you later.